Record 002. People say they do not have enough time. But time is rarely the first thing missing. Most lives do not collapse because the day is too short. They collapse because nothing inside them remains in motion long enough to accumulate force. Attention moves. Intent moves. Emotion moves. Identity moves. And when everything moves too quickly, nothing continues. The problem is not always a lack of hours. The problem is interruption. Not external interruption alone. Internal interruption. A person begins the day as one self and ends it as another. A thought appears, but does not remain. A decision is made, but is not inhabited long enough to change anything. What most people call a lack of time is often only the visible symptom of something more structural. The loss of continuity. A fragmented life can look active from the outside. Messages answered, tasks completed, screens switched, plans discussed, intentions repeated. But motion is not continuity. Reaction is not continuity. Exposure is not continuity. Continuity requires something more demanding. That energy remains oriented without dissolving each time the environment changes. But most people do dissolve. Their mind changes with the room. Their priorities change with the notification. Their confidence changes with the morning. Their will changes with the feeling of the hour. So nothing deepens, nothing compounds, nothing reaches critical mass. What appears to be inconsistency is often something more precise, a system with no stable line of transmission. No inner thread strong enough to survive distraction, mood, novelty, fatigue, or fear. Nothing accumulates in fragments, not thought, not discipline, not trust, not transformation. Because accumulation depends on return. The mind must return. The body must return. Attention must return. The self must return to the same direction often enough for density to form. Without return, there is only restart. And a life made of constant restarting can appear full, while remaining structurally empty. This is why many people feel exhausted without feeling built. They have spent energy, but they have not retained structure. They have moved, but they have not continued. Force does not emerge from intensity alone. It emerges from sustained alignment. A weak movement, maintained, can alter a life. A strong movement, interrupted repeatedly, disappears without residue. The contemporary environment does not reward continuity. It rewards response. It rewards availability. It rewards quickness. It rewards visibility. It rewards the ability to shift instantly from one signal to another. This creates a specific type of person. Functionally engaged, structurally dispersed. Such a person may appear productive, but inwardly, nothing holds. Because continuity requires resistance to unnecessary switching. And most systems now depend on switching, from platform to platform, from role to role, from desire to desire, from self-image to self-image. Under these conditions, fragmentation no longer feels like disorder. It feels normal. That is why it is rarely diagnosed correctly. People do not say, "I am losing continuity." They say, "I need motivation. I need discipline. I need clarity. I need more time." But often, what has been lost is not motivation. It is sequence, not discipline, but persistence of direction, not time, but uninterrupted self-contact. When continuity is lost, life becomes episodic. A person is serious for 2 days, clear for one morning, inspired for one night, committed for one conversation. Then the signal drops. And each drop is interpreted as failure of character. But not every collapse is moral. Some collapses are architectural. A structure that cannot carry force across time will always mistake interruption for personal weakness. But the deeper issue is not weakness. It is discontinuity. And discontinuity has a cost. Nothing reaches depth. Not because the person is incapable, but because no vector remains active long enough to become irreversible. You do not always lack time. You often lack continuity. The ability to remain in relation to one thought, one direction, one internal line, long enough for something to take form. Without continuity, effort evaporates. With continuity, even modest force acquires weight. Most people are not stopped by the size of the task. They are stopped by repeated breaks in transmission. And where transmission breaks often enough, nothing accumulates. Only intention. Only motion. Only fragments. Continuity is not intensity. It is duration under dispersion. And where duration fails, structure does not form. Without continuity, there is no mass.